So today is the webinar on IoT and AI in startups. Okay. So the first HOD madam gives the introduction to guest, and then the guest take over the session.
So good afternoon to all. On behalf of our prestigious King's College of Engineering and Computer Science Engineering Department in association with Multimedia Club, it's my great pleasure and honor to welcome you all for today's webinar session on Startup for IoT and AI. First of all, I take this opportunity to thank my management, secretary sir and the principal ma'am to motivate to conduct this webinar. I would like to welcome our resource person, Mr. Ramesh Subramanian, CEO, CIAR Software Solution, Chennai. So first of all, I would like to begin with introduction of our resource person now. He turned his passion for good food into a successful model. Using his technical skill, he currently operates two startups in this segment. First one is wawa.com. So this website is detailed for a catering aggregation platform for quality food, and he operates one more startup. This website name is foodenginepos.com. So this website is detailed about ERP and end-to-end solution for restaurant needs, include multi-mode POS software and powerful integration. So why we choose this webinar on today? So this the startup is importance for developing a countries and obstacle facing these entrepreneurships. So generally, the startup is a young company founded by one or more entrepreneurships to develop a unique product or service. So the validity of the concept to your potential lenders and investors. So I hope that this session ensures the challenge of growing a business and how to meet them. So I would like to thank to the coordinator of this webinar, Mr. Rajarajan sir and Mr. Arun sir, to make their arrangement and cooperation of this session. So thank you, sir. Once again, welcome you all.
Thank you, madam. So Ramesh sir.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, madam. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Welcome, sir. So now the session is yours. You can type session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ramesh, and how many people are there, Rajan? How many students are there?
Yeah. Second and third years students are there, sir. So final year students are also there.
Totally second. How many people are there? I mean, I just want to make this as an interactive session. An approximate number?
Minimum 50 students are there, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, thank you. And good afternoon, students and respected staff members. Really thankful for giving me this opportunity. I always wanted to kind of establish an entrepreneurship in everyone because it took me just before getting into IoT and AI. I will talk a little about myself. I did my engineering in Multimedia College of Engineering, which is in Trichy, and I did my MBA from Manipal University. And then I joined IT company in 2000. So I had 14 years of corporate experience working in companies like Ramco Systems and Infosys. So And I was, as a corporate employee, I was traveling around the world, and I was well paid and well settled. So I was not sure like what is my thought process until I crossed 14 years of my experience, and then I realized my interest was towards food. Everybody loves food. That is a different scenario, and I'm sure like you had lunch and you're sitting here. Otherwise, it will be very much boring. Uh, so, so why food? I've been traveling around the world, and being a bachelor, like when I finished my course, I used to go to restaurants, hotels, and when you go abroad, it's not like an Indian culture. So you have to sit with a family of people who's actually cooking and serving. They run the shop there. So I was started exploring the various ingredients, food, and the challenges they go around. So that is how the interest on me got into the food industry. In 2014, I thought like food industry being ever a green industry, like an education industry. I was so passionate, and in 2013, 14, I came back for good to India. I resigned my Infosys job, and I did my first startup called Food Engine. So I'm providing a complete ERP solutions for hotels and restaurants. When I say complete ERP solution, right from billing to inventory, recipe management, wastage management, Swiggy, Zomato orders, integration. There are so many things which is involved revolving around that space. So, and then in 2017, I did another product which is aligned to this kind of company, where I was serving to the restaurant, and I expanded to hotels where you travel and you do a room check-in, check-out, and you have to book the rooms before going to a place. I'm going to a resort or picnic, so you need to book a room. So I did a kind of a room booking solution. In the industry, we call it as hotel management solution or hospitality management solution. So that's what we call. So that we did, that came as part of the need from the restaurant industry, but also kind of into the hospitality space. And eventually there is a need within this industry for it started with an IoT, because it's not like even in your home cooking. I'll kind of give a high level, then I go into detail. So many of you might be aware what is an AI, what is an IoT, but I'll tell you with your context. So it's hot summer, and you are traveling, let's say from your college to home, and you're going in bike, and as soon as you go to the home, you want to take some rest, maybe a nice nap in the AC hall, AC room. So you have to go to the home, open the door, and then switch on the AC. It takes some time. So if you have a provision to switch on the AC when you are traveling, that is an amazing thing, right? So you don't have to worry about just going there, getting warm, and then getting a little chill. So that is where the IoT plays a major role, wherein IoT is nothing but a data transfer. Okay, it just transfers a data. It's think about binary. I'm sure you might have heard about like data structure which works with 0 and 1. So it is just transferring of data from a machine to machine, or a human to machine, or machine to human. So now you have your mobile app, or like any other devices through which you are sending instruction to another device. So we being human, we are sending an instruction to a device which is at your home. So how is it connected? It can be connected through a Wi-Fi solution, wherein you have the internet, or you can have a SIM card through a data connection also. It can get connected. So it needs connection. So either a data card connection or a Wi-Fi connection. So that is how the instruction, when you open your app and then say switch on my AC or switch on my light, the instruction goes to somewhere. It is kind of centralized. It goes to somewhere, and then that is actually pushing the data to the device, to the instrument or equipment which is in your home. Okay, so the central place which receives your information, that can be a cloud solution, where like you might have heard about AWS, Amazon Web Services, Azure. IBM. There's a lot of provider of cloud solutions. So you can have a service which listens always to you, which listens to your request. So the request is handled by another server, which actually pushes to your device. So human to a machine and a machine to machine. So this is called the IoT. To be very simplistic, from a home nature. So how does it work in the industries? Okay, so everybody knows how your mom actually cooks, and maybe you have tried your cooking. So in cooking, everybody have some experience. Okay, so if you have to kind of do a, I'm not sure how many vegetarians are non-veg here, but if you take a vegetarian people, assuming like everybody takes vegetarian, so if you take paneer 65, okay, or if you go to KFC or McDonald's, so what they do is they put the paneer pieces, and there is a pattern how they marinate the paneer piece, and then they do a deep fry. Okay, so if they deep fry for a very long time, what happens is that eat by the rubbery. You cannot eat the paneer, or you cannot chew. It will like become it will become like very hard, like a stone. So, but you will not feel the softness inside the paneer. Okay, how does an IoT plays a role here? So you might wonder, like, if you have happened to see any of the star hotels or a bigger restaurant, when you put the fresh paneer into the deep fry, which is the oil, the peak boiling temperature. So once the food is prepared, once it is good to eat, okay, there is a beep sound which comes from the device. Okay, so which tells that this product is ready. Okay, it can be any product which can be put inside that device, but the device is configured in a such a way whether it is paneer or chicken 65, whatever it is. So it actually tells you the food is ready. So that is where the IoT actually kind of plays. And if the same hotel, bigger five-star hotel or bigger restaurant, or your campus, let's say they have to switch on the AC before you come in. Okay, so many times, I mean, not now, I don't know how it is working. Many times when we were studying, we will get into the lab and then they will switch on the AC. Okay, so it will take 10-15 minutes to settle down because that time AC is something new where everybody started kind of enjoying. So, but now you have an IoT where you can program it, you can automate it. Okay, if the class starts at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. in the morning, it will switch on automatically in 10 a.m. So there's a lot of stuff which you can do in the IoT. So we're talking about a small restaurant where the fry is happening. But think about an industrial kitchen. Industrial kitchen. If you happen to work in Ford Motors or Wipro or any other company in the future, you will have some 40,000, 50,000 people working, or even 5,000 people is a big mass for preparation of food. So there, even we have gone to the level where we have introduced IoT of what is the time the batter needs to be made from the rice or from dal. So automatically the grinder will stop once it reaches the time, because you get a consistency. Right now, your home cook, your mom, when they are cooking, every day you will have some different taste. Every day idli is not the same idli. One day it will be soft, one day it will be hard. So it changes. But when you come to the industrial kitchens and the McDonald's is supplying the marinated chicken at your doorstep, so it needs to be consistent across the world. So what they have to do, so they have to prepare in such a way that the consistency is maintained. Otherwise, you're not going to go back. Okay. So the consistency comes with the process, and that process is determined by what is the standard operating procedures, which includes what is the heating temperature, boiling temperature, freezing, deep freezing, So all these are included. So a very specific area where the even in logistics business, if the KFC or McDonald's have done the chicken and they are transporting, so it has to come in the frozen temperature. So if something happens to the vehicle where the refrigerator is not working, it's going to kind of spoil the whole food transport and it's going to cost them heavily. They'll lose money. So to avoid that, this IoT will help them to kind of tell them, okay, the AC is working in this condition, the temperature is coming down, or it is maintaining properly. So all these informations are being shared on a regular basis. So that is where IoT plays a kind of a major role. So just a quick introduction about IoT, and nowadays SOS calls from the car. If the car determines there is a threat, or it sends an alert to you, or if you're sleeping, it sends an alert to you and your family. If there is some hazard or some accident is going to happen, it's going to alert you. So these are all the few things that being part of it. Now, you guys understood what is an IoT, Internet of Things? Because I have to kind of mix IoT, and I'm going to move on to AI, which is a bigger subject. And last 20 minutes, I will have a Q&A session which is open. So yeah. Before moving to the AI part, do you guys have understanding of what is an IoT? Okay, if you have any questions, just note it down. I will open the forum in another 15-20 minutes. Okay, so this IoT is actually happening. It is collecting the data. Okay, it is collecting the data. There is a lot of interactions happening between the device, between the human to human, machine to human. So there's a lot of interaction happening. Where does the AI plays a role? Okay, so AI is a very simple thing. Okay, so it recognizes. Let's say, for example, AI. The key need of the AI is the learning part. We as a human, we learn every day, every hour. We keep on learning something or new, knowingly or unknowingly. We keep learning. Okay, so but we have every human have a memory capacity, right? So for us, once the semester is over, done. So if you ask me what is some detail in some of the theory that I studied, subjects I studied, I don't, maybe I couldn't even able to recollect the topics. Okay, but AI, but that is, may not be needed for me because we are representing. There are so many people, and we can go and refer. AI retains that knowledge and it also works on an intelligent way where it redefines the knowledge to make a decision. Okay, so normally human intelligence is what is needed earlier for visual perceptions, speech recognition, decision making, translation of language. So somebody has to be there to translate the language. Okay, somebody is talking over like let's say when Modi comes to Tamil Nadu or some other North in Rahul Gandhi comes to Tamil Nadu, they speak in English or Hindi. But you must be seeing translators kind of standing next to them and they are translating in Tamil language and the English language. So now the technology has kind of developed in such a way that AI will have a library of information. Okay, sometimes the translator can change the word. Translator can change the meaning. But AI will understand, and it has a library of all the different words, text, context, meaning, references, everything. So it can ask you when, let's say, Mr. Rahul Gandhi or Mr. Modi is talking, it can even kind of tag it to Tirupurul spontaneously. So the AI has to be trained in such a way that AI understands what is the input and it responds back based on the history of data. Not only that, it also can actually make a decision. So you might think, what is an AI? Something is like somebody is like it is taking a decision. It's taking decision on its own. It is answering all the questions. So what is the need of a software engineer in AI? Okay. IoT, you can understand. There is a device. Either it needs to be connected to Wi-Fi. Either it needs to be connected to a what is that? SMS, something you need, data card. So you need all those things so it can Bluetooth. So you can understand. So there is a device, there is an API calls, application protocol interface. So you have APIs, you have integrations, so you can make it work. But AI, everybody's saying like, okay, machine can answer, machine can answer. Okay, who does that AI? Okay, it's like engineering, like engineers like you only who is doing the AI. Say for example, so when you go to a placement officer, okay, and ask for questions. So how many companies are there have come for campus interview this time, and how many people have been interviewed, how many people have been shortlisted. So the professor have to keep on answering each one of you, and they have to circulate the information. And many times we don't see the circulation, and even the circulation may not have in detailed information. So you have to connect to the staff to get the information. If there is an AI there, the AI can give you information so much so far, like how many people have been placed from year one to from the college start to until this time. So maybe the placement officer keeps changing every year, so he may not have the complete data. But the AI has the data. Whenever there is a transfer of person, no problem. AI has the data. So you are feeding the data continuously. And you might have feel that okay, this person and X, Y, you are comparing 2%. When you are comparing 2%, always the intellect property, intellect knowledge of the person actually differs from one person to another person. So we go to a tendency of comparison, right? But if we are talking about consistency, we are talking about business consistency for consumers or B2B. When that consistency needs to be there, irrespective of whether Ramesh is asking the question or one of the students is asking a question to a company like Amazon. Amazon or Flipkart needs to answer the same answer to both of us, right? Or if I'm asking the question from here and my friend Mohit, who is in Calcutta, he is asking the same question to Flipkart, the answer needs to be same. He cannot have two different answers. So why do we need to give an AI? So you can have people to do that. So you have to have people. Okay, you're going to have so much of people like a big call center or a BPO company where you have to manually take the call, talk to the customer in their own language, and answer the question. So it's going to cost us heavily for the corporate companies, for the industries. So AI is going to play a major role there, where it will identify what is the question and what is there any relevant. The AI is nothing but an agent which is actually collecting your information and responding back. So there are some dialogues, there are some context which the AI developer will set in the system. There are plenty of AI tools which is available, AI software. Okay, there is RasaX, there is Google Dialogflow. So there are plenty of software. When you go into this software, it is free, the license is free, you can go, you can subscribe it, you can just explore on your own. So very easy is Google Dialogflow. You don't need to have coding at all. Even a person like me who went coding 10 years back, I can go to Google's dialog flow, open the dialog flow, create an agent by the name Ramesh, and feed all the questions that I have, create the questions, and also set the keywords and set all the QAs, questions, answers, context, keywords. So I keep on kind of setting all these contexts every time. Every time I work with the system, I feed that system with all these data. If I'm not there in the office, the AI can respond back telling, okay, if customer is calling me and asking, okay, what is the price of this product? So instead of me verbally telling, if I train the system, okay, so let's say one of the customer calling me and asking, what is the cost of your point of sale solution? What is the cost of food in them? I say like it's 10,000 per year annually. So if I train that AI, okay, if anybody is asking, simple question, cost of food engine, what is the cost of food engine device? That's a question. I will have a keyword, cost, food engine, pricing, annual, and the answer is 10,000 per year. Somebody is asking a question back to that, what is the cost? So it will identify the keyword cost. And I will have cost, I will have pricing, I will have subscription, I will have SaaS, right? All these keywords, cost, pricing, may be same. Somebody will ask, what is the commercial to it? So I will add a keyword commercial. So the same keyword is added multiple. It actually goes to the same question that, what is the price of your product? That is the question. But I cannot expect everybody to ask the same question. But I can understand the need, the motivation of the question. So that keyword, costing, commercial, pricing. So all these things I can mark as a keyword, and the keyword is searched. So every time do I have to train the AI? It's like every time I think about some question or somebody is asking me some question, do I have to train AI? No, you don't have to. So what happens is now, initially it was there. Initially it is like a CRM tool where you automate the QA, so customer can actually ask a question and there is a predefined question, preset question. And that question you have a context and you have an answer and you have a keyword. So based on that, it will kind of reply you. And you go to a chatbot, any company, any chatbot. So earlier, when they started the chatbot, a physical agent, a physical engineer or a person will be sitting on the other side. They will be chatting with you. So in today's world, that chatting person, that agent is very limited. As a bigger company like Amazon, okay, without AI, they would need 1,000 people to answer questions because the questions are coming all over India, all over the world. They need 10,000 people to just sit in front of the system, get the customer questions, and just type in the answer. Do you think the answer will be same across all the country, all the region? No, it will be changing. One person in Europe will say some other way of answering. One person in Delhi will say a different way. One person in Chennai, one person in Trichy. Everybody will say in a different way. So this AI consolidated the question, put it into the AI. So initially it originated as, okay, this question, this is answer, straightforward. If the AI is not able to understand the question, immediately itself, can I connect you to one agent? Very simple. So it is filtering out all the questions. So then comes the learning part. So people made AI as a learning machine. So that's why the machine language all comes into picture. So based on the questions you ask and the responses gives, and again the questions and the responses it collects from the end user, end customer, it started creating the question by itself. So that is where the AI come into picture in an advanced way, where it started building its own knowledge, and this own knowledge is stored as context, questions, keywords. So it started creating its own QAs based on the conversation that's happening. So we saw AI, we saw IoT. Okay, I'm still keeping it as a two different entity. I'm not mixing. Later, I will tell you about what are the different products that are also kind of which is using both of them and which is getting benefited. Okay, so in today's world, there are so many products in the market. Your watch, your phone, any other gadgets, your washing machine, your TV, your refrigerator, your home lightings, air conditioner, even the door, everything is made as an IoT, right? Right. So it is made as an IoT. So, and AI, I'll give you a typical example. Everybody must have seen a drone machine, right? So what is happening right now when you go walk into a marriage, the drone just goes 10 or 11 feet above the ground, and it actually kind of clicks, I mean, takes a video or takes a photo of the precious moment that's happening. But you might have seen guys standing in some corner or standing somewhere operating the drone. So he will operate, go this side, go that side, go straight, go forward, backward, everything he will be instructing through an IoT device, through a joystick. So you'll be keep on kind of doing it. Okay, fine. It's a marriage event, so he is actually doing it. So this artificial intelligence, if you have to put it in a forest and say track a tiger or something in a very close proximity, can a guy go stand and do all these things? No. Can he monitor where this lion is moving or tiger is moving? No, it is not possible. So the AI plays a major role where it identifies the object movement. So it can be infra, it can be a thermal recognition by which the AI can understand the heat of the body heat, the body size, and it can actually kind of come to a conclusion. Okay, this animal or this person is a baby or this animal is a tiger. So it can actually learn. In case it is not able to learn, it sees some new object, totally new to the world. So that is where our intervention is needed to kind of retrain the AI. And AI, not only based on the question and answers, it can train itself. It can actually go to internet, collect information. I'm sure you might have kind of known the web spider, like Google on web spider, or Bing works on web spider. So depending on the need, the company can do a web search and then create a database which can answer any of your questions. Okay, so now combining these two, IoT and AI. So the drone is a typical example of which you program it automatically. The drone is checked in and it started working, and it identifies the object. It travels along with the object. It records the pattern of the object, and it based on the based on the characters. Like say, I'm sure like during lockdown, many of you are working from I'm sorry, studying, or classes are happening from the home. And even now today, most of the universities and colleges are doing online courses and online exams. Okay, and professors have a tough time to understand whether the person is actually seeing the monitor and doing it, or keeping the book aside or friend next to you, and then doing your exam. So your camera has been fit with an AI from most of the universities, where the AI identifies based on your pattern. Okay, your eye pattern. Okay, let's say I have an exam, and my friend is standing in front of me. I'm saying the question. Okay, what is data structure? So I'm saying my mouth is moving. It can identify that mouth is moving. And if I have to see this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, okay. So it can easily identify that my concentration is not on the monitor, it is moving up and down. And it can identify various positions, the chin, your forehead. So it can identify, it can sense your expressions on the face, and it can identify, and it definitely gives a report back to the examiner that this guy is let's say 100% concentrating on the exam, or let's say he is taking the exam by 90%. So they know the answers. They know what's happening. So the AI can give a report to the instructor telling that okay, this is what it is happening. And these are all the exams. It's not come during lockdown. Okay. So if you have taken any international certifications, all these international certifications have this kind of a process. Okay, so long back your TOEFL GRE, somebody will be there monitoring. So going forward, I'm sure the TOEFL GRE and all other international exams, you can sit from home and you can take it at your convenient time. You don't have to book a slot in Pearson View or some other place. You will be able to sit in front of your system, and the system will make you pass or fail based on your expression, your concentration to the monitor and the keyboard. That will happen soon. And that is because of the AI technology. Okay, so I will give a brief of what is an AI, what is a IoT, and I also covered in the food industry how I am using the AI and IoT. IoT plays a major role in kind of setting up the SOPs correctly, the timing, the processing time of the food, the soaking time, the marination time, the preparation time, production time. So all these are measured and it is controlled in such a way. And also we use the data to kind of understand what is the prediction. So when I say prediction, my system will tell, okay, um, February 14th, last year we had the sales, and this year the expected sales is this much. And if you want to input some parameter, COVID situation, how much percentage you want to reduce? So let's reduce 20 or 30% because people are still not coming out. Allied people are not coming out. So let's reduce another 30%. So it gives a predictive analysis to the customers using the application. So in a nutshell, if we have to use both IoT and AI can improve the accuracy rate of the data that is being given. You can do a wonderful predictive analysis and maintenance of the product, because you know when this product is going to fail. It measures the when you're running the AC, your unit, if it is going to be more dusty, your air quality and the temperature is going to vary, and also your power consumption is going to go high. So it can monitor the air quality, the temperature in the room. It also can identify the power consumption, and it can tell like, okay, it is time to clean your AC filter. And it can definitely improve a customer satisfaction, and it can bring enormous savings in operations. The efficiency will increase like anything. Okay, so with this, I will stop. I will open the forum for a QA session. So please feel free to ask me questions, be it AI or IoT, or even a startup related questions. You guys want to start some company, you have some thought process, but you don't know how to go about. You want to ask some questions? Yes, start. You can ask me questions related to startup. You can IoT, AI. So I only see the professors here. Maybe rather than if you can collect the questions, or if anybody wants to ask questions, they can come in. They can ask.
Okay, boss, sir. Students, those who have any doubts, so
Yeah, I
type
think
your
there is a
questions
chat
in the
option
chat
also.
box. So type your questions in the YouTube chat box la un question type பண்ணுங்க.
YouTube. Rather than, can you share me that link?
Yeah, I already shared this. So in your WhatsApp
YouTube.
there is a YouTube
Okay.
link, you know. Yeah, yeah, Ramesh, I have one doubt. So is it audible?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So is there is any security issue in IoT? So how to avoid that? So in the IoT
Sorry.
environment,
What is the question?
so IoT environment, if there is any malware or attacks going to be occurred, so how to avoid that or how to mitigate the attacks?
Yeah, the security is a kind of a good question. So there is when you open a Bluetooth, even somebody can hack into the Bluetooth. So there are a lot of security codes and features which are available, which needs to be embedded as part of the, whether it is an AI or IoT. This needs to be definitely included. There's a lot of security layers which needs to be integrated along with your device integration or another application integration. Yes, that is always there.
Okay, thank you, Ramesh.